What is up, guys? Media Master Menard here today, and I'm bringing you a very different type of video today. Usually I have somewhat of an outline of what I want to say before I talk, and today I really don't have that, so it's going to be a much more laid-back commentary. And as you can see by the title, we need to talk about Battlefield 5, and this game has been such a mixed bag of emotions for me. I really don't know what I should think of this game, so I'm bringing it to my channel to talk about it with you guys. And so I'm going to kind of talk about every different aspect of this game and what I like and what I don't like, and kind of summarize how I feel as a whole. So let's get into it. Quick disclaimer, I bought this game recently at Target actually when it was half off, and that is why I actually got the game. I was not willing to pay full price for this game. But let's start talking about the gameplay, which is kind of the most important part of the game in my opinion, and I think it's very fun and has extremely tight controls that feel really good, and I think the gunplay is very much improved over Battlefield 1. I like the maps for the most part. There's a couple that I don't like. Narvik, which is one of the beta maps, is one of my least favorite maps in the game, as well as Fjell 652. They're both the snowy maps based in the Scandinavian region, and it has nothing to do with the snowy map type. It's just I don't think they play very well. Some of my favorite maps are probably Twisted Steel and Arras. I think those play really well and are really fun and kind of get the Battlefield vibe to them, and they get that vibe right. And one thing about the gameplay that I'm really not a fan of is the progression system. It's very lackluster, and I'm not sure how that's possible, as that was one of the biggest feedbacks that they received from Battlefield 1, was to make it better and more meaningful. And while specializations are better than what we had thought what we had in Battlefield 1 at least, I do think they are a little generic and seem pretty cookie cutter. I mean, think of the old Modern Warfare Battlefield games that were based in the present day. They had so many attachments and weapons that you could use, and it just seems like the roster of weapons and attachments are so small compared to those games, and it seems like the game doesn't give you enough unlock tokens to actually unlock the stuff you want if you want to unlock weapon attachments or weapon specializations, and also unlock customizable weapon skins. You can't do both. You have to choose one or the other. So the game is really inviting you to purchase microtransactions, and I really don't like that. Let's talk about the Frostbite engine. I mean, the graphics in this game, as everyone knows, as you can tell on the screen right now, they are incredible. I'm playing on a base PS4, and I really didn't know that this engine could push my PS4 this far. But the engine also has a little bit of problems. There's a lot of weird body collision physics, and dead bodies act very weird. And also, something that should be noted is the Frontlines game mode, which is one of the best game modes that they've recently added to Battlefield, in my opinion, is glitched. And the bomb will not work, and you'll be stuck in a never-ending match that won't end even after the timer hits 0. And they are supposed to be putting in a patch tomorrow as of the recording, but right now, as the launch day patch, it is not fixed and it is not playable. So that is really a big problem, and that's kind of what I'm going to segue into the next part. This game really, I don't think, was ready for launch. There's game modes missing from it. The co-op that was promised isn't there. They're already adding a new map tomorrow, and were they holding back content, does that mean? I mean, that just doesn't make sense to me. Part of the single player campaign is being added in tomorrow as well. I mean, I don't know if the game would have been better off being delayed a couple more months even to finish it off and polish it off and kind of avoid the whole crazy holiday release window altogether. I mean, the Battle Royale isn't supposed to come out till March. I think they might have been better served to wait until then, or even into late spring, early summer. That window is usually pretty empty, and not a lot of games are coming out around that time. And then there's the controversy and everything that EA brought along with it, and just the fact that EA is just kind of a scummy company in general, and not very many gamers are for them, and for good reason. And so the controversy, if you didn't know, was that it seemed like EA and DICE were pushing an agenda of diversity onto World War II and kind of altering history, and I'm not here to judge whether that's right or wrong. That's really not my place, and I really don't care as long as the gameplay is good. But where I think EA and DICE did go wrong was calling fans who were upset about it dumb and telling people if they didn't like it to not buy the game. I mean, that's just not what you want to do to your customers. And there's been a million videos on it. You guys already know by now. You can't treat your customers that way and expect them to continue to buy and support your game. And them saying that to people makes me not want to support EA. And it's weird because I can't really tell the difference between where EA ends and DICE begins anymore. I don't know who's doing what and who's making what decisions, and if DICE are completely guilt-free or if they are somewhat culpable as well in this. And I would like to get to the bottom of that, but I'm sure we may never know, with EA being the big head and kind of taking most of the blame. And I do think it is mostly them. And kind of all these things put together really put this game in an interesting spot for me. I mean, I have a ton of fun playing this game, but I kind of feel guilty that I bought it, even though I bought it at half off, $30, less than a week after release. It makes me feel bad for supporting DICE and EA and some of their scummy business practices, like luring people into microtransactions and kind of taking the bait and buying the game even after they told people not to buy it if they don't like it. I don't know if this is right or wrong. And another side note is I would have liked to see a modern setting Battlefield game, because I don't think they could have gotten away with some of the lack of content things that they have in this game, because there's been a precedent set for modern era Battlefield games on how many guns you're going to have and how many maps you're going to have. You're going to have more than 8 maps at launch. I mean, it just seems like it's going down every single game. I mean, Call of Duty had like 12 or 13 maps at launch. They had a lot, even if some of them were remakes. I think Battlefield could have put forth a little more effort into getting more content available at launch. And I don't know if DICE is spread too thin between this game and the Battlefront series, but I think EA has some thinking to do to kind of fix what's going on and try to give us a full product at the release date. Hey, what's up guys? Media Master Menard back here, and I'm just editing my video, and I happened to go on Reddit and I just saw that the first DLC has actually been delayed for this game, and I just cannot believe how much of a dumpster fire this game's release and post-release scheduling and handling, how DICE has handled it, has gone. It's just been so bad, and there's just been a PR nightmare after another PR nightmare, and I'm not really sure how they're gonna fix it. I think they're gonna need to do something to make it up to the fans. I mean, we were expecting new maps tomorrow and new just content, new war stories, everything, and they weren't able to deliver on that, and it's starting to make it look really bad for EA and DICE. Their word means nothing at this point. They keep pushing every release date back. I really do think they need to do something to fix this. Just a quick side note I wanted to add in here at the end, because I saw this as I was editing the video. Let me know what you guys think about this in the comments below, how you feel about this delay. Well, with that, I think that wraps up a lot of my random thoughts about this game and kind of summarizes where I'm at with it. And I want to know what you guys think about this game, Battlefield 5. It's very polarizing. A lot of people are on different ends of the spectrum. Do you love the gameplay but hate the publisher? Or are you boycotting the game because you hate EA? Please let me know what you think about this game and if you bought it or not in the comments below. If you liked the video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be bringing you guys more movies, TV, video game, and anime content. I'm going to leave a link to my Twitter down in the description below so you can find out when I post a new video. And until then, this is Master Menard, signing off.
Now look at the top, I'm going crazy, wearing the crown. Schooly bop, doodly bolly doodly.